Princess Anne's unexpected statement about her sister-in-law, Camilla, has left the royal family and the public in utter disbelief. In an astonishing move, the typically reserved princess Anne made a simple yet powerful declaration: "I tried to warn everyone." This bold message has sparked intense speculation about Camilla's role and future within the monarchy, raising questions that have reverberated across the royal family and beyond. What could have driven Anne, so often seen as the epitome of royal decorum and focus, to step forward with such a groundbreaking revelation? As the dust settles, the full implications of Anne's announcement are only just beginning to unfold. Princess Anne, known for her unwavering dedication to duty, has always been one of the most respected members of the British royal family. From the moment she was born into the monarchy, she was immersed in a world of public service, responsibility, and tradition. The only daughter of Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip, and was raised under the watchful eye of a family that placed the highest value on hard work and royal duty. Even as a child, and exhibited an independence that set her apart from many of her peers. Her parents encouraged this trait, preparing her for the challenges that lay ahead as a royal. Unlike many of her contemporaries, Anne never shied away from the demands of royal life. In fact, she embraced the unique role she was born into. Her early years were filled with public appearances, official engagements, and countless hours dedicated to charitable work, efforts that she felt called to from a young age. As she transitioned into adulthood, Anne's sense of responsibility only deepened. Her commitment to royal duty propelled her to carve out a place for herself within the monarchy that reflected her tireless work ethic. Year after year, she took on more engagements than many of her family members, earning the reputation of being one of the hardest-working royals. Princess Anne's loyalty to the crown and her family's legacy has remained paramount throughout decades of royal challenges and public scrutiny. She rarely allowed personal matters to overshadow her duties. Her commitment to tradition, respect for protocol, and reluctance to engage in public controversy made her a stabilizing force within the royal family. She understood the gravity of her role and upheld the values instilled in her by her parents. For Anne, duty was not about fame or personal gain, but about fulfilling her responsibilities with dignity. She was content to serve quietly, out of the public eye, ensuring that her focus remained on charitable endeavors and royal obligations. With such a strong attachment to duty and heritage, it's no surprise that her recent announcement about Camilla has left the public eager to understand the deeper story behind her statement. The relationship between Princess Anne and Camilla has long been a subject of intrigue within royal circles. While both women share a deep connection to the royal family, their personalities and approaches to life could not be more different. Anne is known for her no-nonsense attitude and her unyielding dedication to duty. In contrast, Camilla's path to royalty was anything but conventional. Her journey was marked by a high-profile relationship with King Charles and a public rise from outsider to queen consort. From the outset, Anne's approach to royal life was straightforward, almost Spartan in its intensity. She valued privacy, discipline, and hard work, and she rarely sought media attention. Her focus was always on charity work and fulfilling her royal responsibilities. Camilla, on the other hand, had a much more complicated journey into the royal fold. Initially an outsider, she became a controversial figure due to her relationship with Prince Charles during his marriage to Princess Diana. Her public perception was fraught with judgment, and it took years for her to gain acceptance both within the royal family and in the public eye. As Camilla's role within the monarchy grew, especially after her marriage to Charles, and reportedly struggled to reconcile her views on royal duty with Camilla's evolving position. The fact that Camilla was eventually named queen consort stirred discomfort for Anne. For her, Camilla's ascent represented a shift in the monarchy's image, one that seemed to move away from the strict traditions that Anne so deeply respected. Compounding this tension, Anne has also been a steadfast critic of her brother Prince Andrew's controversies, seeing them as damaging to the royal family's reputation. For Anne, the Andrew scandal, coupled with Camilla's rise, symbolized a monarchy veering dangerously away from the principles instilled by Queen Elizabeth II. Anne's unease was further fueled by her belief in a straightforward, traditional interpretation of royal duty. Her own life was marked by a strict adherence to protocol and a relentless focus on duty, in contrast to Camilla's public journey of reinvention and adaptation. As Camila moved closer to the throne, Anne's view of her likely shifted further. This reinforced an internal conflict between her loyalty to the family and her commitment to the principles instilled by her mother, Queen Elizabeth II. For Anne, Camilla's rise to queen consort wasn't just a personal matter, it represented a broader shift in the monarchy's image and values. And felt it might alter the very foundation of royal duty. In a move that sent shockwaves through the royal family and beyond, Princess Anne recently broke her silence with a huge announcement regarding Camilla's role within the monarchy. Known for her typically reserved nature, Anne has seldom commented publicly on family matters. However, this time was different. She felt compelled to speak out and reveal a long-held belief that she could no longer keep private. Her message was punctuated by a simple yet powerful phrase, "I tried to warn everyone." The setting for Anne's revelation was a formal event where senior members of the royal family gathered to address pressing issues surrounding the monarchy's future. Anne stood before a small audience of close confidants and advisors, unusually candid and abandoning her typical restraint. It was clear that this was not just an expression of personal opinion, it was a call to protect the institution that Anne had devoted her life to upholding. Anne's announcement laid bare her concerns over Camilla's growing influence and what she viewed as the potential consequences of this shift. Her message resonated as both a cautionary tale and a statement of personal responsibility. For years, Anne had remained silent out of respect for her family's choices and loyalty to her brother, King Charles. Yet her announcement implied that she had long held reservations about Camilla's role and felt that her presence as queen consort could suddenly alter the public's perception of the monarchy. Throughout her speech, Anne underscored her deep respect for the monarchy's legacy and continually referenced the values instilled by her late mother, Queen Elizabeth II. She shared her view that certain standards and principles were fundamental to the royal family's identity. Although she avoided direct criticisms of Camilla, Anne's message was clear. She believed that the queen consort's role should be carefully considered, not simply awarded without regard for the impact on the institution's integrity. Her concerns, she stated, were not personal but about safeguarding a tradition that had defined the British monarchy for centuries. Princess Anne is currently 16th in line to the British throne, but she remains one of the most respected and admired members of the royal family. Her position in the line of succession reflects centuries-old traditions that originally disregarded gender equality, allowing male heirs to take precedence over females. While the Succession to the Crown Act of 2013 marked a historic step toward addressing gender inequality by ending the practice of male preference primogeniture, it did not retroactively affect Anne's place in line. The law applies only to those born after October 28, 2011, which allowed Princess Charlotte, for example, to retain her position above her younger brother, Prince Louis. But it left Anne's position untouched, far behind her younger brothers and their descendants. The 2013 Act was a landmark in recognizing gender equality within the royal family. Yet this amendment raised questions about the fairness of Anne's place in the line of succession. She remains behind her younger brothers and their children despite her seniority. For many, Anne represents the qualities that the British monarchy upholds: dedication, dignity, and loyalty. In this context, some feel that she, as the Queen's only daughter and one of the family's most committed figures, has a valid claim to a more prominent position, especially compared to those who have entered the royal family through marriage, such as Camilla, Queen Consort. Camilla's role has been a unique and somewhat controversial one within the royal family. As Queen Consort, she holds a high position alongside King Charles, despite not being born into the royal bloodline. This has highlighted an interesting dichotomy within the monarchy. While those born into the family, like Princess Anne, follow a strict line of succession shaped by centuries of tradition, those who marry into the family can ascend to significant roles without being heirs by birth. Camilla's rise to queen consort underscores the flexibility within the monarchy regarding titles by marriage as opposed to the rigid rules governing hereditary succession. While it is highly unlikely that the succession laws will be revised again, many admire and as a figure whose lifelong dedication makes her, in their eyes, equally, if not more, deserving of a prominent position in the monarchy. For some, this admiration is rooted in a sense of fairness, and is the elder sister to Charles and has served as a senior royal her entire life. The fact that her gender alone limited her position in the line of succession feels, to these supporters, outdated and unjust, particularly when compared to Camilla's high rank as queen consort. Anne's announcement about Camila may have been a subtle acknowledgement of this frustration, an expression of a deeper conflict over royal roles, titles, and legacy. In the wake of Princess Anne's announcement, the royal family faces an uncertain future. While Anne's concerns were voiced privately, her message has now taken on a public life of its own, sparking debates among royal watchers, constitutional experts, and the British public. What does it mean for the monarchy's future when one of its most dedicated members feels compelled to speak out so dramatically? And what does this signal for Camilla, whose reign as queen consort is now under intense scrutiny? As expected, the royal family has remained largely silent on the matter, maintaining the public stance of unity and discretion. King Charles, in particular, has made no public comment regarding Anne's announcement. He is well known for his careful approach to royal matters, often opting to stay out of the spotlight when it comes to internal family issues. However, the fact that Anne has chosen to speak out publicly may suggest a shift in the royal family's approach to dealing with internal tensions. As the royal family moves forward, it remains to be seen how Anne's announcement will impact the monarchy's image and future. The question of Camilla's role is now more urgent than ever, and the world will be watching closely to see how the royal family navigates this delicate issue.